There was a lot of attention on Twitter during the election because of the Hunter Biden laptop story. The New York Post.
Had that too.
Yeah, so you guys censored that as well?
The FBI, I think, basically came to us, some folks on our team, and was like, hey, just so you know, like, you should be on high alert. We thought that there was a lot of Russian propaganda in the 2016 election. We have it on notice that basically there's about to be some kind of dump of that's similar to that. So just be vigilant.
Facebook CEO Mark Zuckerberg making that shocking revelation this week about Facebook's suppression of the Hunter Biden laptop story right before the 2020 presidential election.
Funny how that happens. Joe Concha joins us now. Joe, here's the Facebook quote to Fox News. We didn't block the New York Post story. We temporarily reduced its distribution to give fact-checking partners time to review it. For those of you who aren't familiar with Facebook, basically, they didn't allow it to come up really high on many people's timelines, so many people didn't see it. Revelations like this, Joe, beg the question, how coordinated was this suppression? Was this election interference? And how high up did it go?
Yeah, and another question, Todd, why that particular story at that particular time in October of 2020? How about the story that there were Russian bounties on U.S. troops and that Donald Trump knew about it and allowed it? Was that also fact-checked and therefore reduced in terms of distribution? No, of course not. There's a political play here, and you have to love Joe Rogan in these situations where he just was able to have Mark Zuckerberg so casually just talk about this bombshell like he was talking about a vacation he just took with the family at Disney, right? So good for Joe Rogan. But let's be clear. The FBI coercing Facebook to censor information is a direct violation of the First Amendment. And the agency, according to Mark Zuckerberg, interfered in the 2020 election, just as they interfered after the 2016 election via James Comey, who was the FBI director at the time, buying into all those contents of the Steele dossier that ultimately launched the Russia collusion investigation. Here we have a government, and this is what should be chilling for everybody, deciding what news can and cannot be shared on huge social media platforms like Facebook, and obviously Twitter was infinitely worse because they outright censored the story and locked out accounts that shared the story. So this is where we are at this point, government and big tech working together on behalf of a political party, and that's what this is certainly not what the United States of America is all about, Ashley.
Yeah, so Joe, is Zuckerberg to blame here? Is the FBI? Do you think anybody is going to be held accountable? Do you think it's both?
Well, Ashley, I'd like to hear what Christopher Wray, the FBI director who was appointed by Donald Trump, what he would have to say about this. They have not commented on this yet, but I would hope then the next time that Mr. Wray is on Capitol Hill at some sort of hearing taking questions, that this would be question number one. Why are you going to social media companies and telling them that a story may be Russian disinformation when you don't even quite know that yet? What was your purpose there? I'd like to hear from the FBI director on that, Ashley and Todd.
Let's get to some Friday hypocrisy. There's always hypocrisy, but this is just wow. White House letting unvaccinated migrants flood into our country. No questions asked. But tennis star Novak Djokovic won't be able to compete in the U.S. Open. You know, Novak, the greatest tennis player in the world, he was denied entry into our country over his vaccination status. Here's what the U.S. Open tournament director is saying. Even they're disappointed. Novak's a great champ. It's very unfortunate he will be unable to compete at the 2022 U.S. Open as he is unable to enter the country due to the federal government's vaccination policy for non-U.S. citizens. We look forward to welcoming Novak back at the 2023 U.S. Open. How bad does all this make the White House look? Even the U.S. Open saying, we know this mandate's going to be gone by 2023, even though the emergency is gone now.
Todd, I'm glad you read that statement because people are mad at the U.S. Open at tennis. No, it has nothing to do with tennis. This is the U.S. federal government that isn't allowing Novak Djokovic into the country. And look, here you have a relatively young professional athlete who already got COVID. He had it in December. Therefore, he has natural immunity. And even though Djokovic did get the vaccine, as we've seen, it doesn't stop the spread of transmission. The CDC and Rochelle Walensky have admitted this. And we see example after example with the president and the first lady vaccinated multiple times, getting COVID and being reinfected shortly thereafter. I mean, this is tennis, by the way, a sport that literally socially distances its competitors. And yet here we have a country that is on track to allow more than 4 million illegal migrants, as Tom Homan was just talking about, to enter this country, most of whom I would suspect are not vaccinated if they're coming from countries like Guatemala or Nicaragua or Haiti, given how few vaccines are available in those countries. So tennis fans are being robbed here, because here you have Rafa Nadal and Novak Djokovic neck and neck for the most Grand Slam titles in history, and only one will be at Arthur Ashe Stadium. It's a shame. I would have loved to have seen those two go at it, but tennis fans in general who don't normally watch tennis but tune in for the U.S. Open, they're getting robbed here, guys.
They are, and so is he.
So is he. It is unbelievable. Joe Concha, have a great weekend, my friend.
Happy weekend. Take care, guys.
I'm Steve Ducey.
I'm Brian Kilmeade.
And I'm Ainsley Earhart. And click here to subscribe to the Fox News YouTube page to catch our hottest interviews and most compelling analysis.